Sometimes when I'm preaching, and I'm talking about who God calls, why does God call certain people? Why do some people seem to have a special destiny? And I often ask people, if you were God, would you choose you? And you know, people immediately start laughing like, ugh, if I was God, no, for sure, I wouldn't choose me. And so I wrote a book called, If You Were God, Would You Choose You? And I go through the Old Testament and the New Testament and show all the unlikely candidates which God chose. And in fact, if you look at 1 Corinthians chapter 1, you find the people whom the world would choose are not the people that God chooses. Which means most of us are candidates. We're candidates because we need help. We're exactly the ones that God can use and can be glorified by using us. We can't claim any of the credit. So I wrote this book, If You Were God, Would You Choose You? And you know, one of my favorite parts of this book is about King David, where I talk about the qualities that he had as a young man that set him apart from other young men. And in fact, if you look at the life of David when he was young, he was very ignored. No one paid attention to him. In fact, when the prophet Samuel came to his father's house and called for all of his brothers, they didn't even call him. They left him out in the field. He was completely overlooked. But God was not overlooking him. There was something in young David which qualified him to be used by God. And I go through all of those points which the Holy Spirit really opened up to me in the Old Testament. So the book is called, If You Were God, Would You Choose You? And if you want to be used by God, that's a book you need for your life.